Good evening. I'm Will Dove, and these are the top stories for Tuesday, May 13th. Mark Carney revealed his 28-member cabinet today, with half of the ministers possessing limited government experience, raising concerns about the administration's readiness to tackle Canada's mounting economic and social challenges. 13 of the appointed ministers are newly elected MPs. Carney also appointed 10 secretaries of state, for a total of 38 appointments. In a move signaling continuity with the previous Liberal government, Carney has retained Chrystia Freeland in his cabinet, appointing her as Minister of Transport and Internal Trade. This appointment comes despite widespread criticism of Freeland's previous economic management as Finance Minister, where she oversaw unprecedented levels of government spending and inflation that has devastated Canadian households. The cabinet announcement, made at Rideau Hall this morning, confirms fears that Carney's government will continue the same failed policies that have characterized Canadian governance in recent years. Political analysts note that by keeping Freeland in a prominent position, Carney is signaling his intention to maintain close ties with the World Economic Forum and globalist interests that have dominated Canadian policy direction. Among the inexperienced ministers appointed are several former academics and NGO directors with strong ties to international organizations, but limited practical experience in government administration or the private sector. Critics argue this lack of real-world experience could further hamper Canada's economic recovery as the country faces increasing international competition and domestic fiscal challenges. Conservative opposition leader Pierre Poilievre responded to the appointments by pointing out that the new team is the same as the old team.
In his first press conference, Mr. Carney talked a good game about reversing Liberal policies in these areas, but now we have to find out if he was serious. And so far, it's not a promising start. The first disappointment is, unfortunately, his cabinet. He appointed Trudeau's old team and Trudeau's old advisors. Stephen Guilbeault, whose radical green agenda would shut down all future developments in our resource industry, is still the minister responsible for Quebec. Sean Fraser was the immigration minister who caused the immigration crisis, the housing minister who gave us the housing crisis, and now he's the minister responsible for addressing the Liberal crime crisis. It seems like he is the master at failing upward. Chrystia Freeland, who as finance minister hiked capital gains tax and carbon taxes and massively grew our debt to the point where we now spend $1 billion a week on interest, stays in the cabinet.
The cabinet's composition reflects a heavy urban bias, with minimal representation from rural communities and resource-dependent regions. Only 3 ministers hail from the prairie provinces, despite these regions being crucial to Canada's agricultural and energy sectors. The cabinet's first meeting is scheduled for tomorrow, where they are expected to begin work on the government's first budget and legislative agenda.